Hello friends, welcome back to Complete Medical Coding. Today I am here with some important ICD-10 guidelines. Okay, ICD-10-CM guidelines. I had already taken a video before regarding ICD guidelines, and this is like few more. It's the same plus few more additional guidelines. Okay, and so that it will be helpful for the new followers. You can follow this video. So those who are new to the channel, please subscribe. And please, those who are new to my channel, please watch all my videos from the beginning so that you will be getting a basic knowledge of what the medical coding is all about, especially for those who are new to this field and those who are not from the science background. Okay, you can also learn, you can also pass the exam easily. Anyway, moving to the ICD basics. Okay, ICD basics. As you all know, what is ICD means? International Classification of Diseases. So that is to diagnose, to code the diagnosis. ICD is mainly used to code diagnosis. ICD-10 was developed by WHO. Okay, ICD-10 was developed by World Health Organization, whereas ICD-10-CM, which is what we are using now, CM. CM stands for clinical modification. Okay. So ICD-10-CM was developed by NCHS and CMS. NCHS is National Center for Health Statistics and CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Okay. ICD-10-CM has two volumes. Volume 1, which is tabular list, and volume 2, which is index list. Tabular list is based on body system and structural format of the code, whereas index list is based on alphabetical order, which is subdivided again into 4 parts. Okay, so basically when we are searching for code, we are directly moving to the index page, the alphabetical index, according to the alphabetical order. Okay, so we are moving directly to the index page. So that is subdivided into 4 parts: index to diseases, table of neoplasm, table of drugs and chemicals, index to external cause. Sorry. Okay. Now, code always starts with an alphabet. The ICD code always starts with an alphabet. And this ICD code contains minimum of 3 characters and maximum of 7 characters. Okay. So ICD-10 code always starts with an alphabet. Code contains minimum of 3 characters and maximum of 7 characters. The first 1 to 3, minimum of 3, right? So that is the main category. 1 to 3 is the category and 4 to 7 is a subcategory. Now there are few punctuations. See, these basic guidelines you will be definitely getting for your interviews as well. Okay, just to check, not for all companies I am telling, but for few companies at least, just to check the basic knowledge of CPT and ICD. So all these you have to be careful. You have to know what all this is. Like punctuations, includes, excludes, everything. So let's learn everything today. Punctuations, the brackets, square brackets, they are used in both in tabular list as well as in index list. So what is the use of brackets? Brackets are used in tabular list to enclose synonyms or alternate codes, you can say. And the same brackets which are used in index list to identify manifestation codes. Okay. Now parenthesis, symbol bracket, parenthesis, which is used in both tabular and index list to enclose supplementary words. Both are used to enclose supplementary words. I mean, parenthesis is used both in tabular and index list to enclose supplementary words. And how about a semicolon? You can see, if you open an ICD code book, you will be seeing semicolons. So what is it basically used for, or what is the meaning of that? It is used in tabular list after an incomplete term. It represents an incomplete term. Okay. Because there is a continuation. For if you check the other codes, there will be continuation for that. Now, NEC, not elsewhere. You are regularly getting NEC, NOS. Okay, there is a main difference in that. NEC means not elsewhere classified, and NOS means not otherwise specified. So what is NEC means? Not elsewhere classified. What does that mean? Which means physician documentation was clear from the, for the condition, but the code was not available for that condition. Yeah, the documentation of physician is very clear, but if code is not available, in that case, we will be using NEC. This is an example. For example, diabetic hyperlipidemia, if there is no proper code. But documentation is clear, but you are not getting that. So, you need to use NEC. Whereas NOS, not otherwise specified. It means physician documentation was not clear for the condition, but the code availability was clear in the coding set. Like acute, for example, I am saying. See, bronchitis. Just physician is just mentioning it is as bronchitis. He has not mentioned whether it is acute or chronic. So in that case, you have to use NOS. So it means documentation is not clear, but there is a specific code. But we don't know what to code because the documentation is not clear. So in that case, NOS is used. Okay. Now includes, exclude 1, exclude 2, all these are very important. Okay, you might get for your interview questions during your interview. Okay, so and you will be using it in your career as well. So what does include means? Includes, it is a part of category, so no need to code it separately. As from the term itself, it's a part of the category, so you don't have to code it separately. Now exclude 1 and exclude 2. Exclude 1 means not coded here and exclude 2 means not included here. From that word itself, you will be knowing what it is. Still, I'll be explaining it in detail. See, exclude 1. Exclude 1 means not coded here. Exclude 1 means not coded here. So, it means don't code exclude and exclude 1 together. Not coded here means you should not code both together. See, two conditions can't occur together. You should code only from exclude 1. If there is a diagnosis mentioned exclude 1, you have to code only from exclude 1. You should not include any other, two conditions which should not be occur together. Okay, so don't code exclude and exclude 1 together. Now, what about exclude 2? Exclude 2 means not included here. Means you can code separately, right? As from the word itself. Exclude 2 means not included here. Code exclude and exclude 2 together. You can code both together. Okay, both conditions can occur together. Code from exclude and exclude both. You can code from both. That is what it means. Okay. Now, what is X represents? X represents a placeholder. X represents placeholder. If digits are not available, then we will put X. For example, if 7th character is available and at the same time, if 6th character is not available, then place X in the 6th character. Okay. So, if 7th character is available and at the same time 6th character is not available, you have to place X, which is called as placeholder. So, you have to place X in the 6th character to mark it as a complete diagnosis. Now, there are few general coding guidelines, general ICD coding guidelines. To search for a code, see first index followed by tabular. Yeah, as I had mentioned before, you have to first always look into the index page. In order to search for a code, always go to the index page first, then go to tabular. Now, always code up to the highest level of specificity. That is why for the ICD codes are 7 characters. Always code up to the highest level of specificity. If there is some specific, like laterality, specificity, anything is mentioned, you have to code for that specificity. Like for example, what you can say, yeah, laterality, 1, 2, 3 codes are there. Then what you can say, this initial, okay, these are examples, initial, subsequent, sequela. So initial you will mark it as A, subsequent you will mark it as D, for sequela you will mark it as S. Sorry. So all these are there. So that is what specificity means. If there is any specificity, you have to always code that specificity. Okay. Now another guideline, if a patient is admitted with signs and symptoms and no definitive diagnosis, then code only the signs and symptoms. Okay, if a patient is admitted with only signs and symptoms and there is no definitive diagnosis, you have to code only the signs and symptoms. Unless and until if there is a confirmed diagnosis. If there is a confirmed diagnosis, you have to code that confirmed diagnosis. Okay. Now, if a condition is having multiple codes, then follow the sequencing and instructional notes carefully. If there are multiple codes that you need to code, then you have to always follow the sequencing. Which code, like severity, has to be coded first, and then the instructional notes. If there is an instructional notes present, follow that carefully as per the documentation. Okay. Now, if acute and chronic was documented, then code always acute first, followed by chronic. Always code acute first and followed by chronic. If both acute and chronic was documented, different conditions. It is for different condition. If it is same condition and chronic is a subterm for acute, then code only chronic. Okay, if chronic is the subterm for acute, then code only chronic. Alright. Now, few more important guidelines. Impending or threatened condition. Impending or threatened condition. If a patient encountered with a symptom, physician suspecting a condition, but at the same time of discharge, he confirmed the condition, then code only the condition. Okay, impending or threatened condition. So, the patient has encountered with some symptoms, okay, and physician is suspecting that condition, and at the time of discharge, that suspecting was confirmed. So, in that case, code only the condition. If he is still suspecting a condition as impending or threatened at the time of discharge, so it means it is not confirmed. If he is still suspecting and not confirmed, then see first the subterm under impending. If exists, then code that. If subterm is not existing, then code the reason for the visit. What is the reason for the visit? Okay. So accordingly, you have to code. Now, what is borderline? Borderline if a physician documented a condition as borderline at the time of discharge. Okay. The physician is documented that condition as a borderline. Then see the condition under borderline. If exists, means if that borderline exists, then code as appropriate. If not, code the condition as the confirmed diagnosis. Okay. So that is what it is. Now, what is next? Late effect. What do you mean by late effect? Late effect is the occurrence of a condition from a terminated illness or a previous illness, which is called as late effect. Okay, the occurrence or condition from a terminated illness means already concluded illness or what you can say, previous illness, that is called as late effect, or like some condition has occurred from the previous illness which is already treated, that is late effect. No time period for late effects, it can come anytime. While coding late effects, code first the current condition followed by sequela code. Late effect, when you code the late effect, you have to always code first the current condition, then followed by the sequela. Okay. For severe related late effects, then you will get a combination code from I-69 category. These are just examples. Now, keywords to identify late effects. How you know that this condition is a late effect? Like if in the documentation, if it is mentioned like due to old or previous illness or injury, okay, or following old or previous illness or injury. Word late, old, non-union, keloid. If anything, if any of these keywords are present, it means it's a late effect. Okay. Example, paralysis of leg due to old poliomyelitis. That old, that represents it is a late effect. So this is an example. G83.10 and B91. So in that case, you have to code first the paralysis of leg followed by the poliomyelitis, that late effect. Okay. Now, combination code. A combination code may be possible between two diagnoses, a diagnosis with its manifestation and a diagnosis with its complication. So when is the combination code possible, or when you should code the combination code? Between two diagnoses, a diagnosis with its manifestation and a diagnosis with its complication. For example, between two diagnoses like nausea, two diagnoses, it's an example. One is nausea, one is anxiety. Okay, nausea, for that you can code vomiting R11.2, depression for anxiety you can code F41.8, and with manifestation example will be diabetic hyperglycemia. Okay, these are just the combination codes. All right, just for your understanding. So friends, that's it. These are few important ICD guidelines. If there is any update coming on, or if they just stay tuned for more updates, I'll be coming with more and more updates in the guidelines as well, and I'll be coming again with practice questions and more questions. So those who are already subscribed, thank you so much, and those who are watching and liking my videos, thank you so much for that. And please subscribe if you are new to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye, take care.